Your automatic transmission is supposed to shift so smoothly that you barely even notice it happening, but when you are suddenly getting thrown back in your seat by harsh shifts or your car refuses to leave second gear, you have a serious problem on your hands. If you plug in your diagnostic scanner and pull the code P083D, your car is telling you that the transmission fluid pressure sensor or switch in the G circuit is sending a voltage signal that is way too high. This sensor is an absolutely vital piece of the puzzle, usually bolted right to the side of the valve body deep inside the transmission pan, though sometimes you can find it screwed into the exterior of the transmission case itself. Its entire job is to take the mechanical hydraulic pressure created by the transmission fluid and translate that physical force into an electrical signal that the powertrain control module or the transmission control module can easily understand. The computer uses this continuous stream of voltage data to determine the exact operating pressure and to perfectly time every single gear shift as you accelerate down the road. When the computer sees a voltage reading from the G circuit that completely exceeds the normal operating parameters stored in its memory, it throws this code and often throws your vehicle into a protective limp mode, forcing you to start off in second or third gear to prevent catastrophic internal damage. This is almost always an electrical circuit issue rather than a mechanical failure, and one of the most common culprits is actually a short to power in the signal circuit or an open wire on the ground circuit leading to the sensor. Before you drop the transmission pan and make a huge mess with transmission fluid, you need to thoroughly inspect the external wiring harness and the electrical connector. You are looking for anything obvious like scraped wires, melted plastic from exhaust heat, or a nasty green tint on the metal connector pins that indicates heavy water intrusion and corrosion. If the external wiring looks pristine, you will need to grab your digital volt-ohm meter and test the reference voltage coming from the computer, which should typically be a steady 5 volts or 12 volts depending on your specific manufacturer. With the key on and the engine off, check the voltage and gently wiggle the wiring harness to see if the numbers jump around, which would instantly expose a hidden intermittent connection issue. If the wiring tests perfectly, you can measure the internal resistance of the fluid pressure sensor itself while no pressure is being applied to it, and if those readings fall completely outside the factory specifications, you have found your bad part. Remember that a damaged computer could technically cause this high voltage code, but that is incredibly rare, and you should always eliminate the sensor and the wiring harness before you even think about replacing and reprogramming a highly expensive control module.